So I have the pleasure of introducing today's speaker. Professor Obeng, Eddie Obeng, is a British organizational theorist, educator, and author, recognized as one of the leading personalities in the UK and wider world of project management. He's a high-energy, innovative thinker and inspiring, entertaining communicator who helps business leaders build responses to a rapidly accelerating pace of change. His business career started as an engineer at Shell before he became the youngest executive director of a European business school when he moved to Ashford Business School in 1987. In 1994, he established Pentacle, the virtual business school, in order to teach his philosophy and ensure that there was a continuous link between learning and implementation. In his keynote speech, presentation, he will help us find ways to zoom out and harness a variety of perspectives to help them meet the moment. Let's welcome Professor Obeng.
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here. Isn't it wonderful, Dubai? Are you okay to be interactive? Yeah, great, fantastic. So when I was asked to do this presentation about zooming in and zooming out and looking at CoreNet and looking at the real estate industry, I did what everybody in the modern age does. I did the first task which you've got to do anytime anyone asks you anything. I went to ChatGPT. You think I'm joking, don't you? And I said, ChatGPT, CoreNet, what should I do? East meets west, zooming out. Okay? And ChatGPT, you've heard about ChatGPT, artificial intelligence? Yes. Okay. So it's supposed to give you answers. Yes? Do you know what it said to me? It said, sorry, I can't help you, Eddie. You're not science fiction buffs, I can tell. Okay. So no, seriously, so the challenge has been, how do we zoom out, how do we look at the world differently? And I have a very, very strange perspective on that, which I'll share with you very quickly, which is, years ago when I was doing my qualifications, my MBA, the strategy professor showed us this video. I put it on LinkedIn. Did anyone here see it? See, LinkedIn doesn't. LinkedIn's the sponsor, isn't it? Are you sponsor or member? No. So, okay, so there's no sound on it, but this video, basically, every few seconds, it zooms out by a factor of 10. I'm not going to show you the whole video. You can go and look for it yourselves. But what you see is, initially you thought they were having a picnic. Now you realize they're on a little mat. Then you get the person, and each time it zooms out a factor of 10, you get a different perspective. You get the town, you get the city, and so on and so forth. You don't have to watch it. There's no sound on it. And also I fly. I'm a pilot. So I know people always have the expression, helicopter view. I actually fly helicopters. So I know what it means to have a different perspective, personally. And I know how terrifying it is to look at the world in a different way. So that's what I want to try and do with you. The session's called Meeting the Moment. I'm hoping... I'm going to have to turn that off. Everyone's just watching that screen. It's very interesting, but it's now off. Okay, there you go, black screen. There's nothing for you to look at. So what I'd like to do in the session with Meeting the Moment is to try and explore that zooming in, zooming out thing, but interactively. So I guess the most important thing is, since we're going to talk together, we need to know who else is in the room. So I assume you've introduced yourselves around the tables, but if you haven't, 20 seconds, just shake hands with the person either side and also behind you. Because you know you don't want to be interactive and there's some strange person behind you. So just 20 seconds, just go with it. See what you've got there. Okay?
How are you?
Very good. Hi, good to see you. Fantastic.
Thanks for giving us some energy this morning.
Very happy. Good. Okay, that was 20 seconds. It's not a party. Come on. Let's bring it back. Okay. I've lost control already. Hello. Well, that's a good thing, because obviously you're going to definitely have East meeting West. That's really good. Did you meet anyone nice and exciting? How about the strange ones? Okay. So one of the challenges about looking at things with a new perspective is it's easy if you're not so smart, and it's almost impossible if you're smart. Okay? I know it sounds the wrong way around, but just trust me for a second. One of the headaches you guys will have, and are having in this current complex, turbulent world, is that you're too smart. Smart people are really doomed. You don't believe me, but you've got no chance, okay? And you don't believe me, so I shall prove it to you. I'm going to let you actually understand how you have to think about things differently, calculate, figure out what's going to be next, and move in a straight line towards that. So let me just try something with you, just quickly. So I'm going to just test how smart you are, and I'm sure you'll pass. So let me just write some numbers down. Okay, that one. Okay, and then what I'm going to ask you to do is tell me the next, don't say out loud, the next two in that sequence. You got it? Everyone got that? Sort of? Good. Okay, let's try this one. You got that? Good. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's do it together, interactively. 1, 3, 5, 7. See this problem? You're smart. How about this one? 1, 4, 9, 16. Perfect. Perfect. 25, 36. Brilliant. Okay, let's try this one. A, E, F, H. A, E, F, H. No chance. I told you were doomed because you were smart. You didn't believe me. You're smart. I gave you the first one. You went, this is so easy. I'm a smart person. Okay? I gave you the second one. Oh, just some numbers. I can do this. Look at me. Okay? Then I gave you the third one, and now I've trained you. Just 2 data points. That's your problem. You're too smart. Most normal people, it would take about 10 data points before they start seeing patterns. You see the problem? You took 2. That's how smart you are. And therefore you were doomed. Because when I wrote these, I bet you started thinking, A, E, F, H. A is probably 1. E is 5. There's a gap of... You started doing calculations. Did you? Or you just went, that looks strange. I just give up. Did you do that? Correct. And I gave you a hint. I said you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, to calculate what you're going to do and move in a straight line towards the answer. I actually told you on the answers. These are capital letters with straight lines. Oh, yes. And you couldn't get it not because it's difficult, but because I trained you with something else. Do you see a headache? So when we talk about zooming out, you cannot use anything you currently know. Shall I say that in a nicer way? Because it's a bit aggressive. You can't use anything you don't know. Okay. That's the headache we've got. Shall I keep going? Okay. So from here on, the only feeling you want to have is uncertainty. Because if you have the feeling of certainty, guess what it's telling you? You're doomed. You don't think it's funny, do you? Okay, so my session's going to be very simple. I'm just going to take you on the journey sort of down the river, okay? And the journey looks a little bit like this. We're going to start with why. Why do things differently? We started that already. I'm trying to get you to start to explore different ways of doing things. Then we're going to move into a little bit of what's going on, what to change to, what is happening. I joked about AI, but really there's a lot of differences in terms of how people behave, how technology comes across. Have you noticed this stuff? Yes, exactly. And then we're going to move on to how. How do we make these changes? How do we do them for ourselves? If you're a service provider, how do you do it for your customers? If you're an end user, how do you do it and influence the people in your organization? Or what should we be doing? And then there's this thing here called a deep dive. deep dive. But that's not here. That's after the session. And then we're going to plunge into more of it. So if you're coming to my deep dive, then we can sort of do a little bit of a, I don't know, how do you draw it? Man diving. There you go, man diving. Okay. Okay, that's the plan. But I made my plan before I met you. So let's just check it matches your plan. So I want you to imagine that the next 36 minutes is brilliant. You learn stuff about how to think outside the box and feel comfortable with being uncomfortable. You learn how to go up and zoom and have some opportunities for using your real estate differently, bringing your CFO in to support you. If you're a service provider like Tango, you change your particular offering to include some soft stuff like passion, not just tools. The guys from Tango, I'm teasing you. Are you here? Put your hands up if you're here. Are they here? Yeah, there you go. So I was teasing them earlier. I'm so rude. Huh? I went to their stand. They were so polite to me. They said, come on, have a look at our lovely stand. They've got a brilliant stand out there. So I went up to it, and then I looked at it, and I switched my consultant's brain on and started giving them a hard time. Isn't that right? Okay, so I want you to imagine this 36 minutes is fabulous. You learn the thing which you want to learn the most. What would it be? What would make that 36 minutes the best 36 minutes of the entire conference? In fact, the best 36 minutes of any conference you've been to. In fact, the best 36 minutes of your whole life. It's very unlikely, but it's possible. You never know. There's some strange people out there. Okay? What would you like to learn? That's question one. Question two, I want you to imagine it's a disaster. Eddie is just blah, blah. I don't know what it is. He just talks nonsense. I don't know what it is. What is it I must not do? So your greatest hopes, your greatest fears. What you're going to do is discuss it around the table, but you only have a couple of minutes, maximum 100 seconds. You with me? So discuss. I will collect the first 3 hopes and the first 3 fears, and we'll use that to shape our agenda. No? Oh, you want me to have a pre-prepared presentation with lots of PowerPoints? But I just told you have to go into the uncertainty and feel, I've got to do it myself. Okay. Should we start the clock? 100 seconds starts now. Talk amongst yourselves what you want, what you don't want. I'll collect the first 3. Okay? Okay? All good?
Yeah.
Okay? Okay? "50 seconds." Okay? What are you talking about? What do you want? What do you want? Talk.
We want content.
What do you want? Which content? Any specific topic or?
Any specific topic?
On content, what do you want? Methods, tools, numbers, strategy, what? Trends. Down. I'll explain why. And probably not coming back up. Not in the same way. People have realized they're paying their own mortgages, so they want to live in their houses. Before they were paying the mortgage and living in your offices. 12 seconds left. Okay. Okay, time, gentlemen, ladies, please. Great. Should we go? How should we... Okay, should we start with the hopes or the fears? Where do we start? Hopes or fears? No, you're too optimistic. You see, I told you it's a problem. Let's start with the fears. Okay, how should we select the 3 groups? Is it people who put their hands up first, or should I choose the groups? Choose them. Okay, so that table over there. Go on, just tell me, what's your hope, what's your biggest fear? Did you not talk to each other? Okay, table with the person with the blue shirt. That's more precise. Any fears? Okay, forget them. Table in the middle here with the guy with the black jacket. Yeah, go for it. Man with this. Hey, applause for that man who put his hand up. Leadership! Yay! Brilliant. Okay, great. tell me your hope. I'll let you off. So how to do fast learning in your marketplace to be able to really work together and deliver something amazing. Something like that? Isn't he just about? Yeah, I like that guy so much. Applause again. Great. Okay, any more? Let's take a couple more. Let's take a couple more fears. One more. And go, Han. One. Greatest. Okay. One every 100 years normally, yeah. Oh, you don't meet anyone. Oh, that would be sad. So everyone note that table. That's the sad table. When you have tea, go and say hello to them. Okay, any more hopes or any more fears? Let's go to hopes. Go for it. Man in the corner with his hand up. Business? Oh, global instability. Never. AI, yeah. Climate, okay. Okay, so your hopes are that you fix climate change as CoreNet. Fears. Thank you. Okay, so we're going with that. So we have one hope, which is how do we learn really fast so that we can actually come together as a network and as individuals to drive both ourselves, our businesses, our organizations, and our internal clients to do something which actually allows us to take control over the complexity of the world. That's what that guy said, okay? And then on the fear side, we have we discover our peers do better. Well, so let's make an agreement. If you meet somebody, you're chatting to them, and they say how dreadful everything is, and you're doing really well, don't tell them. Okay? Okay? We've got another. What did I say? I can't remember. Yes, we've done that. Another pandemic. Oh, yeah. No, we've done. Come on, what's every 100 years? What are you guys after? It takes 100 years for the viruses to evolve. You with me, okay? 100 years. Don't panic. Everyone who got rich in the last pandemic. Okay, I have one client. They make Perspex sheets. Okay? They made something like 45 years of bottom line profit in the first year. Okay? They're partying. They're buying yachts. Guess what they talk about? The next pandemic. Of course they do. They got rich. What are you expecting? Okay? So that's not going to happen. If it happens, then something weird's going on. And then we got not meeting anyone, but we fixed that one. Great. So let's make a start with this. I guess I want to put a different view, a different zoom on what's happened over the past few years, because I have a funny feeling it actually happened a long time ago. About 10 years ago, exactly this day, I was at something called Google Zeitgeist. Google decided to copy, you remember TED Talks? They were very popular. And Google decided to copy them and do their own. So they invited me to speak at Google Zeitgeist, okay? And at the time, they were building they built Google Plexes and all this stuff. And now my background, as you heard, is I'm an academic. I teach, but I run Pentacle, the virtual business school. There's a clue in the name. I use technology. And I've been doing it for a long time, okay? So I was already saying that the internet was probably powerful enough to have changed the balance. Because before, information had to be in physical form if it was high-quality information. In other words, ideas and thoughts in your head had to be carried around and then interchanged with other people. You with me? But the internet was allowing us to share information, but without physicality. Do you understand what I mean? And that happened like 30 years ago, but nobody had really changed. So I had Google, one of the biggest tech companies, and the way they were thinking, what they asked me to talk about, was still what I call old world. So I wanted to tease them. So I told them this story. I said, I live in a town in the UK. The town is called Beaconsfield. It has some very strange people in it. They're called time travelers. Are you interested in finding out about them? And they went, yeah. Of course, they thought, who is this madman we've invited onto the stage? Okay, so I said, okay, well, the people, this is 2013, like hashtag 2013, okay? I said, the people in Beaconsfield, they live in normal houses, like we would have houses, okay? In the evenings, at the weekends, they can, in the 21st century, guess what they can do? They can FaceTime with their friends in Australia and around the world. They can download YouTube. They can do all sorts of technology things, okay? But every morning, what happens is the clock goes off at, say, I don't know, 7 o'clock or something, dring, 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 etc. And they wake up and they get into this thing called a car and they travel on something called like a train. Let's make a train, high-speed train, okay? And then they go to a coffee shop, and then from the coffee shop they go to this thing called an office. This is Mega Corp, okay? Okay? And so here they were living in the 21st century. By the time they arrive at Megacorp, they're in the 20th century. Because Megacorp doesn't let them do any technology. Everything's locked down. You know, so stuff they could do, FaceTiming, you know, playing games, they can't do any of that. So you must imagine they've traveled to the 20th century not to do technology things. They've traveled there obviously to meet, to talk to each other, to laugh, to build a culture, to understand each other as people so there's passion, to work with their colleagues, but also their trusted suppliers, to think about, you imagine that's what they would be doing all the day, walking around. There won't be corridors, but it will be more like a very exciting art gallery where people can draw on the walls and it's warm, and then some places are for work. You'd imagine that. No. They sit in these open plan offices, and then occasionally there are these little rooms over here where only a few people can sit, okay? Now, what are they doing all day? They go there and they have technology. It's called a computer. And what do they do with the computer? They use it to send this thing called emails. And I said, what do they do with the emails? Well, it works like this. I email you, you reply to him, blind CC her, she replies to him, bumps into him in the corridor. After about 40 emails, we realized we should have a meeting to discuss this. Okay, now, if we're lucky, there's one of these empty meeting rooms here and we're all in the same building, but normally we're all in different buildings around the world. So what we do instead is we have this thing called a conference call. Have you heard of this? Okay? Basically, everyone phones the same number. Beep, who's there? Fred, etc. Okay? My definition of a conference call is one person talking and 20 people continue to do their emails. Okay? So they would do this all day. 20th century behavior. Occasionally sitting around a table together with somebody with a screen with these things called PowerPoint with bullets, and they would talk blah, 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 and everybody just listens and pretends they're paying attention. No one takes notes, because if you take notes in a meeting, they think you're doing the work. So that's what you're doing here, isn't it? I'm trying to teach you serious stuff. Nobody's taking notes. Okay, so, and then at the end of the day, guess what they do? They travel back. So I presented this to Google, and they all laughed, but actually I was teasing them. Do you recognize it? That was 2013. By the time we got to 2019, we had made great advances. We had replaced the telephone with a computer screen with faces like that. So occasionally, instead of going to the meetings, we'd have a video call. Ooh, cool. Okay? So that was what we do. The shy people, of course, didn't want to be seen, but who cares? Okay? So that was 2019. And then we had 2023. And by the time we got to 2023, something weird had happened. Suddenly, everybody was on these video calls all day. And they were exhausted. Have you heard about people who are exhausted? Do you know why they're exhausted? Okay, so you may have seen animals which sort of look like this. Like sheep and things like that. Go, bah, okay? They have their eyes on the sides of their heads because they have to look behind them to make sure they're not eaten. They're called prey animals. Nobody's afraid of a sheep, okay? You may also have heard of animals who have eyes in the front. Yes? Pointing at you. Those are prey animals. Why do they have them in the front? Because they want to see you clearly so they can eat you, okay? That's their job. So, tell me, what do you think in your old crocodile brain happens to you when you spend your whole day staring at grids of 40 predators coming to eat you. It's a design fault. Yeah, everyone goes, it's a good video conferencing because we're on Teams. But all it does is stress you out. And for the introverts, any introverts here? Oh, they didn't put their hands up. For the introverts, they do things like, oh, my camera's broken. So I'm a bit of an introvert, so I put a sticky pad over my face because I hate looking at myself on the video calls. Okay? So that's what we did in 2023. But we, unfortunately, have another problem. You see, these guys who would wake up at dawn, they would travel and spend their time in your space. They had houses. They paid full whack for the house. They paid for a 24-hour house with a mortgage. And guess what they did? They slept in it. They spent a lot of time discussing, where should we live, darling? I don't know, where should we live? Let's live near the forest. No, I want to be able to go out into the desert. No. They discussed that. They fight with each other. No, I want it to be, etc. They would buy a house and then they would never live in it. Isn't that weird? But what happened in 2019 and 2023 is they discovered they had houses. They discovered they were paying 100% mortgage, not 30% mortgage, and they decided they quite liked being at home. Have you noticed that? Do you think they're suddenly going to go, I no longer want my home, I want to come to your office instead? So when people talk about trends, okay, I'm always interested in trends, but I'm more interested in the underlying human psychology. The ones who want to go back to work are the ones who, when they're at home, they don't get on with the kids and the other half. Okay? So it's a joke. You all want to go to the office. Okay. No, but the human psychology is the important thing, not the data, not what people present, not what people project, but just think about the human beings. They have discovered that they can have a space for themselves. I'm going to stop at that point, because this is really crucial for the next part of our discussion. Hopefully I've taken you out of thinking about real estate as something concrete, starting to look at it as part of a bigger world. I think you need to discuss that round the tables for, what should we say, 40 seconds? Maybe a minute max? Yeah? What did he say? He's a crazy guy. Yeah, we can do it. No, what does he want us to do? How are we going to... All those conversations, please. 40 seconds, over to you. Another 15 seconds, perhaps. Okay, let's go. Are there any questions or comments or thoughts? Any comments, any questions, any thoughts? Hello? 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 Is anyone there? Okay, so questions, comments, thoughts, please. Bang your hand up. There's a question or comment here. Please listen. Go. Are you becoming the humans in the Wall-E movie? No, they haven't watched the Wall-E movie. Just you and me. Apparently we've become the... Don't worry, watch it later. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thanks. Any other questions or comments? Thoughts? Am I crazy? Am I on track? On track. Crazy and on track. Okay. So here's what we need to do next. I started with that calculation. I told you that certainty was a challenge. Now what I want to do is get you to start thinking about the world differently. Problem is you're too smart. So it's hard to think about the world differently. So we're going to learn how to get other people to help us to think about the world differently. And so for that, I have to teach you how to count to 3. Okay? It's very complex, this number stuff, okay? So we're going to do this in pairs. So it's important you're in a pair. So be in a pair. You and me, make sure you're in a pair. If not, look at the person in the next table. Everyone must be in a pair. You, me. Pairs, make sure you're in a pair. Don't not be in a pair. Everyone in a pair. Everyone's in a pair? Great, okay. So I need a good-looking assistant. Okay, is everyone in a pair? Great. Please, applause for my good-looking assistant. Come on. Okay, so you're going to do this in a second, okay? We're going to count to 3, but we're going to count to 3 collaboratively, as a brotherhood, as one, okay? So what will happen is I'll say 1, you'll say 2, then I'll say 3, then you'll say 1, 2, 3, and we'll go back and forth as fast as possible, okay? Can everyone imagine that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So now you stand up and have a go. See how fast you can go. 1, 2, 1. No. There you go. Because you're in a pair, aren't you?
We're in a pair, yes.
Yeah, so. No, you go.
Okay, so we're just doing all this.
I just wanted you to demonstrate your prop, yeah. Sorry. Stop! Rubbish! Come on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's very easy. Look, I'll make it easier for you. Stop. 1 second. Shh. Silence, please. I'm going to make it easier for you, okay? Because I know you can't remember 3 numbers. So we'll replace the 1 with a click of the finger. So go click 2, 3, click 2. As fast as you can. Go. Stop! Pathetic! You guys are very good. Stop! Easier. Forget. Can you remember 3? Just remember the number 3. So first person clap, second person clap, 3. Click, clap, 3. As fast as you can go. Go. Clap your hands. Stop, forget numbers. Numbers are too advanced. Forget all the numbers, okay? Forget. Listen, first person click, then clap, then slap your thigh, okay? As fast as you can go. Go. See you laughing, okay? And this one, okay, watch this. Stop! Look, last round. Can you go back to doing 1, 2, 3 for me? Just 1, 2, 3. Try and see whether you can do it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Twice the speed, isn't there? Fantastic! Applaud yourself! You learned to count to 3. And for my good-looking assistants! Sit down, enjoy yourself. So why couldn't you count to 3 at the start? That was pathetic. Why couldn't you count to 3 at the start? Do you know why? I'm trying to tell you. When I said count to 3, you did the smart people thing. You did, I can do that. I know how to count to 3. Look at me. I've counted to 3 all my life. Eddie's an idiot. And so I said count to 3, but I asked you to do it as a team. And so you stood together. Some of you sat because you're a bit shyer, but it's okay. I like introverts, my favorite people. Okay? So you went, okay, we're in a pair. And it says count to 3. And they go, well, no, you go first. No, you go first. Why? Why were you doing that? Because you were still thinking it was about you. Okay? And then one of you, maybe it was you, you went 1 with a wonderful voice. Okay? And the other person didn't respond immediately. Why? Because they wanted to go first, and they're a bit pissed off. Okay? And they're not listening to you. So they go, oh, 2, okay? But you're so busy still celebrating what a wonderful 1 you did, you didn't hear them. Am I right? And so you can barely count to 3 together. And then I made you let go of something. What did I make you let go of? Yourself, your image, the big I am, the me. There's a story, I'm from Africa, so we have lots of weird stories. One of the stories, if you want to catch a monkey, what you do is you get like a bowl, a big, like a pumpkin, okay, big thing, and you put peanuts inside it, hollow, and you make a little hole. The hole is big enough for the monkey to put their hands in to grab the peanuts, but if they get a fist of peanuts, they can't pull it out. Okay, so what do monkeys usually do? They put their hands in the bowl, then you come and try to catch them. They try and run away. They're carrying this huge pumpkin, and they can't climb up a tree because their hand is holding the peanuts. They don't want to get let go. That's the other problem with smart people. You hate letting go of all the things you've learned. So, how did I make you let go? Slowly. I said, replace the 1 with a click. You went, okay, click. Then replace the 2 with a clap. Then I said, and jump and slap your thigh. Did you hear the laughter? What happened when you started to laugh and relax? You forgot about yourself. You let go of the peanuts. You went adventure. Yes? And then after that, we went to 1, 2, 3, and it was really easy. That is the essence of what you have to do. Because each of you has got either in users here or people in the organization, and they are after something different from real estate. But you may not know that. And the reason you may not know that is because you're professionals. So what magazines do you read? You read magazines for professionals. Written by who? Professionals. So it's hard to break out and see a different perspective. But now that 1, 2, 3 is telling you, you need to go and listen. You need to pay attention to what other people are doing. Some organizations, for example, we heard earlier, are really into things like, I don't know, climate or sustainability. It's possible. I'm on a board of a company. Yeah, you can't work it out because I'm on board with many companies. What are the companies I'm on board on? They're so into their ESG stuff, okay, that the business is tanking, the performance is falling, but they're still just looking at the ESG metrics. That's how high they are on ESG, okay? So if that's your company, then what you want to do is find out how can we reorient what we do with our real estate to support their goals. You with me? Because that would be what they're after. Admittedly, short-term career, people looking for a job soon, but that might be what they're after. If you're a service provider, I'll give you this example from me. As I said, I do technology things. This is me on one of my platforms. So this is my old office. Okay, it's a real office. It's 500 years old. Ooh, lovely. Okay, and this is the teaching room for the executives we have. But down here, you can see, is the virtual one, which we use now. So maybe what you do as a service provider is you try to look at how you integrate the experiences of people, rather than bricks or clicks, or 2 days in the office or 1 day in the office. The reason we get into that 2 days in the office, 1 day in the office, again, is from being too smart. So you might have to try and dig quite hard to solve it. I'll give you an example. If I'm going too fast, slow me down, okay? I'll give you an example. Some of the people I know, I have a friend, I suppose to say. I have a friend, and my friend would like to have a happy home. Does everyone know the joke, I have a friend? You know, it's shorthand for I have a... You guys are too soon. Happy home, okay? So on the one hand, my friend has to keep their spouse happy. Okay? So that means that they must spend more time at home. Yeah? You can tell what's coming next. Okay? On the other hand, my friend has to make more money. So what that means is my friend should spend more time at work. So what my friend has been doing is been taking work home, taking their spouse to the office. Okay, this is what we call a classic dilemma. It's a thinking mistake. Why is this a thinking mistake? Should we have 2 days in the office or 3 days in the office? Why is that a thinking mistake? Why is it the same sort of mistake as this? That's a thinking mistake. Can you see that? Because he's making assumptions. Who says the only way to keep your spouse happy is to spend more time at home? No, maybe it's what you do. Maybe you have to be happier, or when you come up, you should bring either flowers or the favorite beer or whatever it is. Are you with me? It's what you do. This is not connected. Okay? Who says that keeping your spouse happy? Yeah, that one's probably true. Who says the best way to make more money is to spend more time at work? No, brown nosing works much better, okay? And who says the only way to have a happy home is to make more money? No, maybe you just need more friends. This is a complete fiction. There's an entire industry called the work-life balance industry, which is based on this fiction. It's a thinking mistake. People are making the same thinking mistake about how people should work in the future. It's not 2 days, 3 days home or whatever. It's how do you integrate the two. So again, think about not just the needs of the company in terms of whether it's ESG or the needs of the people who probably want to enjoy their mortgages. How do you bring them together? When they're in the office, what should they be like? Should it just be open plan with should it be like an art gallery? Should it be like a music concert? How should it be so the company can go back to what it set out to do? I'm going to stop there because the last bit I'm going to do is talk a little bit about purpose and how you start to make this happen. And then the rest will be my deep dive. Have I done a good job in trying to help you understand how to look at the world differently and let go of stuff? Okay, here's your standard 40 seconds, and then we'll look at how you go back to purpose. Please, around the tables, conversation. Okay. Any questions or comments? Any ahas? Hello? Hello? Any questions, any comments, any ahas? Hello? I know you want to discuss this. Great. Any questions? There's one there? No? Okay. So if you were to ask me how to reinvent, I always start with the people who are going to receive what you're doing, okay? So if I were you, I'd make a list of all the potential stakeholders, clients, customers, okay? I'd make a list of them. But I start with what I call the most obnoxious ones. What do I mean by the most obnoxious ones? You know, the ones you don't want to call, or the executive who just gives you a hard time and you don't want to visit them. Why are those important? Because they can often see something you can provide to them which you're not doing. Yeah? And that makes them obnoxious. Why? Because we all you love your job. You love your job? What does that mean? It means you're doing all the things you enjoy doing. It doesn't mean you're doing anything which is of any use to anyone else. You got it, okay? So the obnoxious customers, make a list, find the ones who are saying, why can't we, we've got this, why can't we just? The ones who say that have no clue. That's the starting point. Because they give you, wrong page. Obnox, okay? They give you the purpose. What should you be pointing at? That's your starting point. If you can find the purpose, then you can rethink your strategy you bring to bear for your part of the real estate world to that. Because generally, people who are obnoxious are literally telling you what's going to be required next. They've seen it, you haven't done it yet, that's why they complain. I mean, there are some obnoxious people who are just obnoxious, but the ones who ask you to do stuff which you can't do yet, or it seems impractical, they're really helpful. Once you have the purpose, of course, then it's very, very straightforward. We have to figure out value. Because the headache, of course, for your world is some stuff you've got like 40 years, 100-year leases. Some stuff you're tied in with developers for 60 years. Some stuff you can move away. Some stuff you can change in the building. Some stuff is expensive to do. So you've got to do the value. I use a very simple formula. Formula is this. I've got an idea. We're not there yet. If we could do it, what would it bring us? If we fail to do it, how much does it cost us? Okay? And then why have we not done it yet? If we can figure out what we'll get from doing it, subtract what we'll lose if we don't, and have a look at the costs of doing it, you get a very rough idea whether it's going to be valuable. And then you can work it into a business case, and then you can work into transformation. And for transformation, all you need to do is go back to the obnoxious people and ask them questions and listen to them, and they buy in. I'll do more of this in the deep dive, and I help you show you how to get turkeys to vote for an early Christmas. So guys, I'm going to stop there. If I've done a great job, you're starting to realize you have to connect with people, especially at that table who were worried about not meeting anyone. If I've done a great job, you're looking at the world differently. You're thinking about who your obnoxious customers are. You're starting to look at the other person rather than 1, 2, 3 and just concentrate on the big I am. If I've done a good job, you've understood how to read the trends in all the magazines from a human perspective, not just from a professionalist perspective. And if I've done a good job, you're going to have a fantastic conference for the rest of the session. Okay? I have a last joke, but I haven't got enough time, so too bad. Do it. I'll be in trouble. Okay, my last joke is also a monkey joke. This is a joke I wrote for my boss when I was a researcher. It's just to encourage people to do different things, especially when they're new and they're scared. So there's an experiment which was done where they got 5 monkeys, put them in a cage, humane cage, put a ladder and hung some bananas from the top, okay? So of course, monkeys like bananas, so what do? They start climbing to get to the bananas, at which point you take a hose with very cold water, you hose the lead monkey, and then hose all the others. So of course they scamper off really cold and sit in the corner, ooh, they're cold. After a while they warm up, they start to go again. As they start to climb again, same thing, hose the lead monkey, hose all the others, even the ones who haven't moved, okay? So they're cold, then they start to warm up. At that point, when one of them starts to go for the bananas, do you know what the others do? They jump on him and beat him up. Why? Because they don't want to get wet. So you take one of the original monkeys out, bring in a brand new monkey. Brand new monkey walks in, sees the original monkey sitting there, sees the banana, starts to go for it. They all jump on him and beat him up. So now he's sitting in the corner beaten up. No idea why he's been beaten up. Okay? Take out another one of the original monkeys. Bring in another brand new monkey. Brand new monkey. Stupid monkeys. Banana. I'm going for it. They all jump on him and beat him up, including the other new monkey, who joins in enthusiastically, even though he has no clue why. Apparently, you can take all the old monkeys who got wet out, bring in 5 new monkeys who will look at the opportunities. They'll see the bananas. They'll see that real estate needs to be rethought not as a state, but as a facility, a facilitation method for enabling corporate purpose, as a way of integrating skills to allow that purpose to be really developed and determined and delivered. Passion, okay? They will see that. Opportunity. But they've been beaten up and they never go for it. So please, go for the banana. Thank you very much. Thank you.